Good morning, peasants. It's me. And the topic of today's video, or the main message rather, is don't not give a fuck, be brave. Now, what do I mean by that? Not giving a fuck, not caring so much. The idea of being a person that's free of external expectations and societal standards is something that is attractive to all of us. We all want to be that confident, bold, self assured, and carefree person that lives the life that they want to live. We all want to do things that are unique. We all want to do things that are authentic, right? And so, because of this, all throughout media, you'll find countless books, articles, and videos, all in the topic of learning to not give a fuck, learning to not care so much. And they give these reasons as to why you shouldn't care so much. They give these reasons as to why you shouldn't give a fuck, right? But I think while the ideas involved aren't wrong, they take a completely wrong approach. Because they try to change your mindset when the root of all these fears that you have, of all these things that you care about, it all comes from years upon years of programming and conditioning. It's only natural to care because from the moment we were born, we looked to our parents for love and security and support. When it comes to our peers, we look to them for social belonging, admiration, respect, and friendship. When it comes to the job market, it's not about what we have to offer to ourselves, it's about what we have to offer to others. Oftentimes, the blueprints we were given of what the good life is, what we should aspire to, what success is, right? These were all determined by other people, and these were all things given to us by other people. And so many things about our self-image, our relationships, our attachments are all about other people. Everything's about other people. And for good reason. Because we need other people to live. We need other people to function. We need other people to connect, right? But sometimes it can trap us, limit us. And so, what should we do about that? Like I said, simply trying to not give a fuck is a very incomplete approach. And I think a better approach is placing more emphasis on being brave. We all have these things that we want to do, want to say, want to express, or want to pursue, but are scared to do so. Or at least there's some level of fear in it. There's some level of risk. So for example, there may be a person that you have feelings for, and you want to express these feelings to them, right? It is something that you truly want to do, but there's fear involved, right? And oftentimes, this fear is going to prevent you from saying anything. And you'll find yourself in the future, later down the line, and if you didn't do anything, you may regret it, right? And a lot of us end up with regrets of things that we hadn't done, opportunities we didn't take. But it's in these things that we can truly learn to get to that point of being more confident, of being more bold, of learning, because we learn that when we do these things that scare us, fear doesn't need to mean danger. Fear doesn't need to be something bad will happen. Fear can mean meaningful. Fear can mean something that we care about, something that we truly care about. Because if we weren't scared, that means we didn't care. If we weren't scared, that means it didn't matter, right? And so when it comes to the best things in life, when it comes to the things that matter the most, there will always be that fear. And you can't get rid of that fear. Not giving a fuck is overrated because for most people, you will give a fuck. You will be scared. But it's about being scared and being able to do it anyway. Right? And of course, that's easier said than done. So, how are you supposed to go about this exactly? I would say an approach that worked for me was taking a more exposure therapy route wherein you start small and you progressively do things that are, more and more scary to you. So, for example, if there's this person, right, that you have feelings for and you want to ask them out, but just the idea of that, the idea of rejection just eats at you and it just paralyzes you. You don't need to do that right away. You could start with complimenting them, or you could start with complimenting strangers. You could start with, starting conversations with strangers, right? Or it could be as simple as saying hi to a person you walk across the street. Whatever level that you're at, right? But what matters is you do something that involves some level of fear and you do it. And by doing this, you teach yourself that fear doesn't mean danger. Fear can even mean something good. And when you do it enough, you teach yourself to thrive under pressure, to thrive under fear, to be able to get to that point where, yes, you may be scared, but that's not going to stop you. You really care about this thing, and you can still do it anyway. So yeah, that's the main message. Stop trying to not give a fuck. Because oftentimes, you will give a fuck. But even if you do, and even if you're scared, be brave. Because if you're not scared, and you weren't being brave in the first place, you're just doing something that was easy to you. So yeah, that's all for now. Have a good morning.